Hello. Welcome back to another edition, and I'm echoing again, good. Vegas Square Gambling Show here on a Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, aka Friday midnight 02. If I drop out during the show, we are prepared for that moment because I'm Hurricane Helene, however you say that stupid wench's name, I'll say. But yeah, Thursday night football just happened. Breaking news: Giants still suck. Cowboys do too, apparently.
Just a little bit less.
Right, and Dietz apparently is the ultimate mush, but we'll get into that later on. We are presented by mybookie.ag. Promo code 12OZ Sports. All caps, no spaces for up to a $1,000 first deposit bonus. MyBookie.ag, the best lines you can find anywhere. Just ask the boys here. I'm lying. They did not endorse that. Oh, come on. Al Michaels mushed us. Great job.
That's right. It wasn't me. It was Al.
It's Al and Tom. They're the ultimate mush.
You know what's
I just
funny
agreed
about
with
that?
him. We were very happy that they were kicking that field goal.
Those field goals have been automatic too this year from like 50. These guys are just nothing but net, and whoopsie, not the one Tom bet.
Tom Dietz crushes dreams and ruins careers like it's nothing.
Yeah, that guy will be selling insurance next week. Brandon Aubrey, you just got mushed.
He got
I really did ruin somebody's career or a season at least. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Sorry. Hey, I'm glad you're doing all right, Mike. I hope you're safe down there. You showed us a picture of the weather. It looks crazy. I wasn't even sure we'd see it tonight. So stay safe, all you guys down there. It doesn't look pleasant.
I just don't want to lose power. That's all. I'm going in the rain. I'm good.
You have the power, Mike. You have the power for this show.
Yeah, right. For now. Yes, go to mybookie.ag. Also, check out 12onsports.com/bet. It's $5.99 a month or $60 a year. Gamble guy hit in early morning bets from like soccer and tennis overseas. I don't even know how that works, but he's good at it, so there you go. Last week, we have made sure this is correct, and it is by now. Sammy Action still leads the standings. He gained $14 for the second straight week. He has netted positive money. Is back up to 982 after a 4-3 week. Aaron is at 904 after going 4-5 and netting the big deuce. And Dietz, you held it down for us because you didn't lose $1,000. I'm kidding. It's not $1,000, but 5-8 looks a lot better than 0-9-1. And oh, by the way, I remember someone predicted 5-8, and so here's my hand giving Aaron's hand a $50 MyBookie bonus.
I remember that.
Now Aaron is up to 954, which means Aaron technically nets 52, but it's 2 based on bets.
I thought I had to get scooped on Monday night for him to get that, and I did not get scooped on Monday night.
Well, you said over 5.5, and that did not happen, sir.
Over 5.5. Oh, is that what it was? I said I'd hit over 5.5.
You said over 5.5.
I said you go 5. Yeah, I said you go 5-8. I think you said you'd go, or Sammy said you'd go 7-6, and I think we did 5.5.
I sure hope I hit a lot more than 5.5 this week because that would be a bad week if I only hit 5.
The work crew is on pins and needles waiting Tom Dietz's picks this week. I posted.
I got him booking my bets now. I'm gonna make you guys pay.
Oh, pay who? I'm gonna get paid.
Yeah, pay me.
Hey,
right where I want you.
What's going on here? I thought we were all gonna wear jerseys. I wore the jersey, and none of you have jerseys on. This is disappointing.
I said from the beginning I'm out on the jerseys. I only wore the jersey last week to rep Aaron Rodgers for getting my bet home. And
your jerseys are artwork, well, just like mine too.
I'd had to put that up for Sammy. That's just it's kind of a troll for Sammy is what that minute thing is.
I recognize it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel like Sammy needs. I mean, this is like a random point that I just thought of. Like Sammy hasn't shaved. This is like the first time I've ever seen Sammy with like a 5 o'clock shadow in my life.
Well, I didn't go to work the last 2 days. I had a bunch of things going on, and so without being able to go to work, I don't have to shave. And if I could choose the life I would like to lead, it would be to never shave and grow a beard. But yeah. So as it stands, I shave whenever I go to work. I just haven't worked the last couple of days.
Mike, you got a goatee. That is something right there. Who wears the goatee well? Sammy with a goatee is all right.
That might be intimidating, actually. All right, let's get to college football week number 5. First game we're going to talk about was already touched on the morning show, so we can just skim through this. I'll ask Sammy's thoughts on this Georgia-Alabama game, and then I'll ask Aaron and Dietz for some brief thoughts. But Georgia's number 2, Alabama's number 4. It's down to 1.5 on my bookie. I don't know if that's the line everywhere else, but it feels like this thing has gone from 1 to 2 to 3, and then back down to 1.5. I'm so confused. I think Georgia kills them. Sammy, I know it's not what the majority of people think. So, what are your thoughts on this game, sir?
I think the winner of this game is the fans. This is just a good game to watch. It'll be enjoyable, I think, from beginning to end. I looked at this game, tried to find a bet on it, and in the end, I think Georgia has the better roster. Alabama has, I think, a slight edge being home. So I think the line is pretty accurate, and I'm going to watch it and be intrigued. It's going to be a good game.
Well, let's go to Aaron first, and then we'll go to Dietz because I think Dietz has a play on this game.
Yeah, I mean, I this is such a I don't know. This is starting to get that get off my lawn. I'm getting old. Start yelling at clouds. Like there's no Saban in this game. Like we're turning a page in college football. The first time Saban's not on the sidelines for this game in 15, 16 years or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we touched on it on the morning show, Mush and I here, but I think Jalen Milroe has looked really good to start the season. Dare I say he's the better quarterback right now? I think I might. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I'm going to say I think he's the better quarterback currently through 3 games. And the last taste in our mouths from these two squads is Georgia almost getting beat by Kentucky, and Alabama wiping the floor with the Badgers. So give me the home team in this one. I'm kind of leaning towards Alabama sneaking out a fun win. But you know what, Sammy, you said something that I really didn't think about. The winner of this is the fans. I hope we get a very highlight-filled type game on Saturday night.
Dietz, what is your thoughts and what is your piggy bank, if you mind?
Well, I'm surprised I didn't sway you into taking Alabama with your lead there, Aaron, because I agree with Sammy. I think the talent level in Georgia outweighs Alabama. I think it's easy for Alabama's quarterback to have looked better at this point in the season when they played nobody. Even Wisconsin, when they had their quarterback healthy, somehow hung with them there for a minute. 2 great teams, 2 very talented teams. But for me, the reason I'm going to open a piggy bank and take Georgia -2 is I think the revenge factor is very big for Georgia. I get it. They're going into Tuscaloosa. The new coach's first big test there at home. He's obviously going to want to show out and have a good showing. But, man, they what a way to get introduced to the SEC playing Georgia right off the rip. So I think it's going to be tough for Alabama to adjust from the teams that they had been playing to playing probably the best team in football right now, at least the top 3 teams. So, yeah, give me the Georgia -1.5. The revenge factor, I just think Kirby Smart. I don't think Carson Beck is the second best quarterback in this game. I think they might have been a little bit of a look-ahead spot with that Kentucky snafu. I'll take Georgia at a near pick 'em here, knowing that Alabama cost them a likely national title last year. I expect them to come out hot and put their foot down and remind everybody who they are.
This is a chance at a mush here, too, because I think Dietz got him at 2. Do you want to take 1.5? Or, I mean, I know I guess you kind of locked it in, but would you guys allow the mush to take 1.5, or are we just going to let him stay at 2?
I don't care. It's fine with me.
Yeah,
Give Tom every advantage. I like to make it competitive.
Kid needs every edge he can get right now. So
we're turning the corner this week.
All right, so
To
I'm
a dead
going
end.
-1.5.
We're off to a great start.
Right.
Oh
Love
yeah,
it.
remind the fans you do have one bet you're already 0-1 this week.
We
Yeah.
will get to that, Aaron Crouch.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I just
Or
wanted
turns
that. I wanted everybody to know.
Dietz turns the corner into a cul-de-sac.
I'm just on a
Jeez.
constant roundabout.
You turned.
All the traffic jokes. This is a great show so far. All right, this next one I pull in this docket, not because it's a good game, but because, well, it is a good game, but because of the fact that a couple, if not all of you guys, have a play in this somehow or another. Illinois fighting Illini against Penn State. The network's darling of betting, Philly Pete's, who will host Primetime Live with Philly Pete every weekday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on 12 on Sports. Is going to this game. He's a Penn State alum, I believe. And so that'll be fun, but this will be an interesting discussion. Aaron, I think you're the one who doesn't have a play on this, so why don't you go first? What is your lean? What is your take on this game? We also talked about this on the morning show.
Yeah, I don't have a play on this one per se, but it did just fall out for me. This is such a big number. I mean, are we not looking at buying high on Illinois in this spot? Penn State has been kind of a roller coaster right now. Obviously, they're 3-0, but I mean, Bowling Green has given the Nittany Lions a run for their money in this, at this point, as long with West Virginia as well. Ultimately, I couldn't really back Illinois. I know it's a ton of points, but they played a Super Bowl last week. We all watched it. We all enjoyed it. We all backed them. They're 4-0. Well, you might not have backed them, Tom. I'm sorry. That's probably why they won. But I mean, they're 4-0. They're number 19, and then this is where the buck stops with me. If I had to lean, I would probably lean Penn State, just destroying this team, because they don't really have an offense. So if the defense doesn't really show up, Penn State can really kind of call their number in this spot, in my opinion. So ultimately, I stayed off it, but we'll see what happens in this game on Saturday.
All right,
I'm the opposite. I'm all about Illinois this game. I think defense wins championships, and now while I don't think this is going to be a championship caliber team, they play championship level defense. Illinois in this spot, I think last week's quarterback was the better quarterback that they're going to face out of these two. And I think that the fact that Penn State made this their whiteout game, their home at night with the white jerseys everywhere, just goes to show you they need a little extra edge, I feel like, in this spot. Give me 18 points. The total is only 47 in this game. It's going to be a pretty low-scoring affair in general. I'll take all the points every chance I get in that situation. Other than that, I don't think this is a tough spot for Illinois to pull out an upset either. I think they can go in there and win. So I almost include this in my fire bet. I think Illinois got a real shot here.
Wow, that'd be a huge fire bet.
Just so you guys know, the bets that these boys place is usually like a couple hours before the show. It might still be at 17.5 some places. So Sammy did get at 17.5, and Dietz on the other side got it at. That's your cue, Dietz.
What did I get it at? I got it at 17.
There you go.
I thought I wasn't ready for that. I thought you were telling me what I had it at. Yeah, I got it at 17.
We're working on it. That's
Sorry.
good. No, go
Aaron,
ahead.
I'm surprised. This is twice in a row. I thought I'd convince you to get in on a game in our morning show discussions, but nope. You're stingy with that big bank.
I've got enough plays, and I'm still leery of you right now. 20 bets in the arsenal here.
That's what I mean. You got to decipher the information.
I don't. I just choose
to
to ignore it. I just choose to ignore the information.
This is very simple for me. I agree with you, Sammy. Illinois looked great last week. They did play the better quarterback, most likely in Baby Mahomes. But for me, this is Penn State all day. James Franklin, as a favorite of 6 to 24 points, is 17-0-1 against the spread in his career. This is just simply a spot that James Franklin covers. He always knows the spread. He tries to cover for his alum and boosters, which, by the way, I applaud, if for no other reason that we have that information and know that about him. We know going in that he is going to try to cover these spreads, and I just love knowing that going in. So, yeah, I am taking James Franklin. It is a bit of a letdown spot for Illinois after a pretty big win. Nebraska's been impressive this year. That was a big win for them last week. It kind of solidified Illinois here. But Brett Bielema, I've been there with you before, sir. I've seen it in Wisconsin. You come off a big win and have a little bit of a letdown, albeit it's usually the lesser competition than Penn State. But like you alluded to, Sammy, they made it the whiteout game for a reason. That is a tough atmosphere to go play, to have back-to-back tough games like this. I'm taking James Franklin against Illinois, knowing the spread, and going to try to hang a number for his boosters. I have Penn State minus 17.5 in the piggy bank for $11.
Woo! Go ahead, Sammy. Debate him, man.
There's no debate. I'm always happy to be on the opposite side of Mr. Dietz. So I will watch this game and enjoy myself. Hopefully I come out on the right side, but it'll be fun either way. We'll talk some trash at work all week, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
we got a crossfire, boys. Let's go. Yeah. Start the podcast here with the crossfire.
Yeah, I'll be backing it up with my. I'll be betting on it myself. So you're welcome to book that bet, Sammy. Jump on the wagon at work.
All right, so what we're going to do in this part of the show now, a little bit change up here to try to get the time going so we can have more fun later on. Aaron, why don't you give us your college football bets that we did not get to here? Okay. Save your prop city if you have any, and save your fire bets for the end. But let's get your other college football games just so you can rattle them off here for us.
Yeah, so I have 3 college football bets, and you said save the fire bet. So, all right.
Yeah, save the fire bet and any prop city for later on. 3
college football bets for me. I'm going to lay some big juice just like Tom is, but not with Penn State. I'm laying it with Ole Miss. They're laying 17.5 here in this spot. I'm going to lay the big juice with Ole Miss. I'm going back to the well with UNC. I know we all saw them get whitewashed by James Madison, but something tells me that Mac Brown kind of gave them a swift kick in the ass this week. So UNC plus 2.5, and then UConn.
Duke, by the way.
Yeah, against Duke. It's a rivalry game. UConn minus 5. I don't even remember who they're playing, but I kind of like that one.
You kind of like that one.
I knew they're playing Buffalo. I knew.
Hey, that's all right. Buffalo off a big performance last week.
I blanked. Hey, I made $2 last week. Tom, how you doing over there?
I'm saying Buffalo off a.
You're talking about me off a great performance.
If anything, I'm agreeing with whatever conclusion you made on why you do this bet. None of us know why you made it, but you know.
Mike, you have to cut that, make that into a reel. That's a fantastic highlight.
Yeah, Aaron. Ole Miss was playing who? Just so I can make sure.
I wrote these down, and now I
this
can't
guy's
find
insane.
Oh, they're playing Kentucky. They're playing Kentucky.
Thank you.
I'm not buying the hype that they almost beat Georgia. I think Ole Miss. Jackson Dart puts up Heisman numbers. I had it written down and my phone died.
Oh, good.
Tom said, "Uh-oh."
All right, Shannon Sharp. Yes. Good job, Dietz. Good job, Dietz.
You know what the crazy thing is we showed him how to do all this on his computer, but he loves the notebook.
You told me. You didn't show me.
It's a great movie.
We showed you with
I'm a visual learner.
Oh, good. Sammy, I'm not. Let me make sure I got this right. Do you have any college bets that are games?
I'm just going with the fight in the line. I have. That's the only one I have a straight bet in. Yeah, I have one included in one of my fire bets.
And Dietz, rattle off your bets that aren't included in your fire bet.
All right, we'll start with tomorrow night in Miami. Boy, I was realizing this tonight. I do got a lot of Florida teams, and I sure hope they're not like. This hurricane, I got family in St. Pete. I know, Mike, you're close by. I wish everybody out there be safe. It looks like it might be a little worse than we thought. So I don't know. So this is assuming that these games go off, of course. But I'm going to take Miami laying the 17.5 against Virginia Tech, Aaron. I like Miami in this spot. Cam Ward, he's the Heisman favorite right now. Miami has scored 50-plus in the last 3 of their games. They're the number 2 offense in yards per play, total yards per game, and number 3 scoring offense. Cam Ward is number 2 in QBR. Virginia Tech was supposed to have an improved defense, but they haven't really shown it yet this year. I do expect, weather permitting, that this will be a pretty good home field advantage. Miami, the hype is starting to get up there, and we know that down in Miami, when they start to get good and they get good players like Cam Ward, who's one of the favorites for the Heisman, they like to show out. So the only problem I see is Miami. Their problem in defense is their secondary, and I don't think that Virginia Tech is going to be able to take advantage of that. So I think that their strengths and weaknesses kind of align. So I'll lay the number on Friday night in what hopefully will be a safe and nice environment for Miami. Who else do I have here? I got Navy. I'm always going to have a group of 5 game. I'm gonna make sure when we cover these marquee games, I always want to have at least one group of 5 game in there. Do you know who's leading the league in the nation in QBR right now? It is the Navy triple option quarterback, Blake Corbath. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, but not only is he the number 1 quarterback in QBR, he is averaging 10 yards per carry as a quarterback. Navy is just amazing. They have been really good this year. And my other side of the handicap, Trent Dilfer is basically just an idiot. UAB is 110th in rushing success. They give up 4.7 yards attempt, 200 yards a game on the ground. I can't imagine them stopping Navy. This might be my favorite bet of the week. Still betting the same amount though, but I love Navy minus 3.5 here. What do I got here? Last game, Central Florida, 2 Staples. I'm surprised you weren't on this, Aaron. To be completely honest with you, this is 2 teams we've covered here at length here, Colorado and Central Florida, in both the morning and the gambling show. Colorado, you threw a Hail Mary to beat Baylor and storm the field. Is that where we're at with this program? That was a week, like that's where we're at. Central Florida, they had a bye week. They've been waiting for this game. We like Central Florida on this show. They are a play-on team for us. Colorado, they cannot stop the run. Their interior part of their defensive line is probably the worst part of their defense. And what does Central Florida like to do? They like to run the ball. They KJ Jefferson, those running backs that they got, Harvey and Boone. I anticipate them just being able to run right through this Colorado defense. I'm a little leery. Central Florida is number 5 in rushing, and they've only had 1 sack on the year. But on the flip side, Shadur has been sacked 16 times this year, so something's got to give there. So I could see Colorado trying to hang in with a pass there, but I think that Central Florida is going to be able to play ball control, run. This number opened at 11, got all the way up to 16, has now come back to 14. I like it at 14. I like Central Florida to be able to get 2 touchdowns to win this game by at least 2 touchdowns based on them. I don't anticipate Colorado being able to stop them. And late in the game, I think Central Florida will be able to run the clock out, play ball control, and control the game script. So, yeah, those are my college bets. Strap in. I got a lot of bets coming tonight.
Can I say something here? We do this as a hobby, and nobody puts more work and effort into getting his picks together than Tom Dietz. I mean, the guy can't pick himself out of a paper bag, but he puts in the time and effort to do all of this research. And I gotta give him a lot of respect. It's impressive.
I bet the games. Thank you. Those are nice. Those are kind words.
5 and 8 is not 0-91. The 0-90 week trash week is over. We're done with the trash train for those.
For people, I'm a volume better. I like to try to push small edges. That's why I don't like in my normal betting life. I don't bet a lot of money. I bet something I'm comfortable with, and because I do enjoy betting. Like if I think I have a small edge or I think I found something that I can exploit, I'm just going to take it, and that's it. Like I enjoy the sweat. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy all of it. Where it probably, if I was ever to do this for an actual living, it would behoove me to be a little more selective. But I enjoy pushing small edges and volume betting and trying to eke out a small profit through volume betting on my daily bets. And I do bet daily because I enjoy it, and that's my mindset going into it. It just happens on the biggest mush on the planet, so I often have bad beat stories to tell.
I mean, Scott Van Pelt could literally just do an entire week on your bets.
Yeah, every week. I was hoping that I'd have some bad beats to talk about on this show with, and they have not.
We do.
They have been often. Yeah.
Well, I will say this with the Central
Oh.
Florida thing. You're right. Why am I not on Central Florida? Everything tips way too far for me to feel so good about. I mean, like you said, like I feel so good about Central Florida rolling them that it's one of those things when you walk in mighty bravado and everything just blows up in your face. That's how I feel about this one. Like Shadur's going to find a way to backdoor cover this and lose by 10.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado's got the best player on the field at the end of the day. Probably the two best players, and Shadur and Travis Hunter. So you never know what they could do.
Yeah, that place will be rocking. That place will be rocking.
I'm rooting for you. This was on my upset alert, just so you know. I thought Colorado could win this game outright. I almost threw this on my fire bet too.
They most certainly can. Yeah, Gus can choke in these big spots for sure. Not just at UCF, but at Auburn as well.
Yeah, I feel great now.
You're good there. You're good.
As you should.
You got it all out now. We're good.
We get it out all week, man. This is just extra
Jeez.
cherries on top, man.
I'm gonna do it, but it's like it's here when I come at it because y'all wouldn't. Good Lord Almighty, I'm giving Dietz a MyBookie bonus for the trash he's received and for putting faith in this show.
He's
Of
just
course,
gonna
now
waste it.
Can you just give him a free bet? I mean, then it just goes back down to 0.
Lock it up. We're good.
Give him the $50.
Do I got to bet it now?
No.
No.
Okay,
Give him a one-time bet. Let him bet $50 or something.
That's what he's gonna get. He's gonna get $50.
That's not how that works, guys.
Can I bet that I win the $50 bet on the MyBookie bonus bet?
What does that even mean?
I don't even know, dude.
I'm gonna bet. I want to double down on myself.
Okay. This show is so redeemable sometimes. The MyBookie bonus, for those that don't know, each person is going to be awarded 3 of them throughout the season of $50 a piece. Just when I'm feeling generous, and Dietz, you deserve it this week, man, for sticking through it and always keeping head held high. Even though you only bet $11 at a time, it's okay. We have faith in you as you do in your bets, clearly.
Well, I even felt bad. I was thinking I was betting, I preached betting 10% of your bankroll at the beginning of this year. And if I was staying true to that, I'd be betting $7 a bet instead of 11. But yeah, we're going to try to dig out of this hole how we got there.
Let's take a commercial, guys. When we come back, NFL week number 4 is on the offing, and we got a few debates in here, I'm sure. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Sports is our passion. For years, we've connected fans to the game. But just like athletes and leagues, we must evolve and grow. This fall, 12-Ounce Sports is taking our game to the next level. Montana, we'll see you in October.
NFL week number 4 is officially upon us. You're watching Vegas Square Gambling Show every Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, aka Friday midnight Eastern. Also check out Vegas Square Morning Show tomorrow or / this morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, aka 10 a.m. Eastern. That's Monday through Friday, hosted by Aaron. Even though we have an announcement for that coming soon. Aaron, we're going to miss you. I'll just say that for now. The Vegas Square Gambling Show rolls on here. I'm presented by MyBookie.ag. Promo code 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, for up to a $1,000 first deposit bonus. A reminder, go to 12OunceSports.com/bet. $5.99 a month gets you the best in betting from Gamble Guy, Philly Pete, and Daily Fantasy from Sports Stance, a.k.a. Mr. Greg. All right, so the piggy bank, we'll explain that concept right now for those of you that are kind of new to the show. Beginning this football season, the boys started off with a $1,000 hypothetical bankroll, which they have been using the first few weeks of the season to get into to like bet on games hypothetically. So it's kind of like our units. Sammy's at 982 right now. Aaron's at 954 after getting a $50 bonus today and grossing some last week. And Dietz just got a MyBookie bonus at the end of the last segment. He's at 756. Alrighty, Thursday Night Football recap here just because it just happened about an hour ago. Cowboys beat the Giants 20-15. Aaron, immediate reaction, sir?
This stuff is just weird, man. These guys are too good. 5.5-point spreads. Cowboys have everything lined up. They're the better team. They play better. They don't even give up a touchdown, and they still can't cover 5 points. It's absolutely insane. 80% of the betting public is on Cowboys tickets minus 5.5. And something just doesn't sit right with me. That missed field goal. This guy's been automatic. This guy had a 64-yarder last week.
He had a 61-yarder tonight.
Yeah, he had 60 yards tonight.
You're right. He even had a 60. It's just weird. It's either something's up with the books in the NFL or Tom's really that powerful.
The power of the mush is strong. Well, look, when he lined up for the field goal, the first question I asked myself was, which side did Tom bet? Because if he needs the points, then it's never going through. And if he had Giants, this is right down the middle. Because as Tom says, it has to hurt a little. If it doesn't hurt a little, then it's not part of his mystique. And so as soon as I figured out that he had the Cowboys -6, this was never going through the uprights.
No, full disclosure, I had a lot of Cowboys -5 too. It wasn't that bad for me. I had a few different bets spread out with some money line bets with the Cowboys as well. But I told you guys, my wife and I, we went down to South Point tonight and we made a few bets, and she likes to make her $10 parlays and all that kind of stuff. And she's sweating. She's got the Cowboys -5 on a couple tickets that look good. And as soon as the Cowboys went up 5, I explained to her, I said, listen, this is how we get there. This is how we get home. We need, 3 and out, get the ball back, or a 4th down around midfield, and they have to run the clock, but they give their automatic kicker a shot at like 40 or 50 yards. It played out to a T. Al Michaels, same thing. That's what Al mushed us. He goes, there's a lot of people really happy to see this kicker come on the field right now. And I said, you're damn right we are, Al. And sure, and I'm like smiling because I semi-predicted it. I kind of gave like an outline of what could happen for us to win these bets. and he just shanks it. And she was so mad. She
Who'd
called,
have
she
thought
called
all
him
the
She says, "You were way too happy. That's why we lost." I said,
Who'd
"Yeah,
have, who'd have thought all the people who were happy to see Aubrey come out were the Giants backers?
yeah." But in regards to the game, I think both these teams look pretty bad. Dallas had some injuries on, like Parsons was in and out of the game. That other guy, number 90, Lawrence, I think his name is, he was out for most of the game. But they're driving the second quarter, man. They just can't get off the field against bad teams. Like this, even when they're healthy, this defense is a real problem. Dak still is not on the same page with CeeDee Lamb. They have offense, but Tyler Guyton, left tackle, has been bad this year. They're really missing Smith, the All-Pro guy that they've had there for years. We talked about it. I don't think Washington, as a long shot to make the playoffs or win the division, is a bad bet right now. Philly, way down. Giants, can't trust them. Dallas, I don't know who are they going to stop. They got to play Washington twice still. And right now, who do you like better, Washington or Dallas? I kind of like the Washington side of that. So yeah, I don't mind a long shot bet on Washington to win the division or make the playoffs based on what we've seen out of these teams in the division so far.
I love that we went gambling mode right there because this show is a gambling show. Full disclosure on what just happened earlier tonight with Beck and Falcon, I had Giants plus 5.5. I almost thought like the money line was sexy too because I'm like, there's no way the Giants just lose close. If they keep it that close, it feels like they would actually win the game or they would just get blown out. I didn't feel like there was an in-between. The kicker, because I know one of my friends texted me and he was all mad about it too. Do people understand like the kickers have like, they're not perfect? I think Aaron kind of like...
They've been pretty damn perfect this year.
Okay, listen, we got to stop that. Because Aaron kind of alluded to something with the NFL. Do we understand that if he makes the field goal, because it's an 8-point game, and the Giants, they have to get a touchdown and another miracle, which is a 2-point conversion. And I feel like we're doing this trick now because there's so much gambling involved. Just because Vegas lays it out perfectly does not mean the NFL's saying, ha, we got you again. Philly Pete was on the under tonight, and that was easy money. But yet, people are going to blame this Brendan Aubrey guy, and I just don't get it. It's like, at what point do we realize these Vegas guys are just good at what they do?
They're damn
Can we admit
good.
that? Can we admit that? Like,
hey, as evidenced by all our WNBA bets, Mike. I know you like the WNBA. They've been spot on those numbers, dead on almost every number.
Finally start paying attention to it. They finally start paying attention to all lines.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way he missed on purpose. Like you're gonna come on.
Like, why would he do that? Like, does he like those can like affect guys' legacies?
Oh, down! Like, good Lord, you are the Justin Bieber to Danny Dimes P. Diddy right now, dude.
So he's the victim?
Yeah, he playing the victim in this, dude. Why are you defending the NFL? Like, it's a joke, man.
No, listen, guys. If we're gonna do a gambling show realistically here, we can't come on here every single time something like this happens and say, "Well, I guess the NFL's rigged," because that's immature. It's just these guys are good. I don't understand. Like, we've got years of data to back this stuff up. I'm not defending the NFL. I'm not defending the big boys. I'm just saying it's kind of, why would this guy intentionally miss a kick? How much money do you have to pay me to miss a kick like that? It's illogical.
I don't think Aaron's saying that. I don't think anybody's saying that. It's just
I think
ironic.
everybody's saying that right now. They are.
It's just ironic because the line is so close. It's razor edge either way. And
they should have bet the under.
Most of these games come down to one possession within the line. That's why teasers are so attractive because they're so close. They get it right a lot. And when the game comes down to a half a point one way or the other, the losing side's always going to say, oh, Vegas called it in or Vegas had a side. Vegas doesn't care. We don't care.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is like, at what point are we just like, are we going to stop knee-jerk reacting to, it's all rigged, Illuminati? Like, guys, it's okay to admit these guys are good at what they do. But that's just side rant because whatever. I know.
Was it a side rant? Because you really.
I know it's a conversation that's being had, and it's kind of ridiculous. All right, 1 o'clock games.
They're good, man. They're always right on the number. They're always right on the number. Like, not always, but they're good. They're good.
this game made the docket not just because I'm an AFC South fan, but because two of you guys, I believe, are on this game, and I believe both of you guys were on opposite sides of it. So I'm talking about Aaron and Dietz, of course, in this spot. Sammy, why don't you go first here? It's Jaguars, Texans. Texans currently at -6. Totals at 45.5. What you got, and then we'll let these two hash it out.
I'm a fan of the Vegas morning show. I listen to Aaron whenever I have time in the morning, and his point on Lawrence being a shell of himself is pretty spot on. I mean, this is I thought Jacksonville was going to be a lot better, and I thought Lawrence was going to be a lot better. And all that's going to happen now is he's going to get his coach fired for the second time, and he's going to go on and fill out his contract and be a mediocre quarterback for a mediocre team for the rest of his career. I don't see any way this doesn't play out as a Houston easy win, but Houston looked terrible last week. I mean, they looked absolutely terrible. I watched that whole game, and I could not put a dollar on them as bad as they looked last week. As good as they looked in week 1 and 2 is as bad as they looked in week 3. And so they've earned the let's watch and see what happens before I want to back you again moment, because, yeah, that was ugly. They got handled last week.
All right, Aaron, why don't you go first here?
Well, I'm gonna jump back on that saddle here. I'm gonna give Trevor Lawrence one last opportunity here. He's 3-7 last 10. Jacksonville is ATS here. I don't know. I mean, CJ Stroud and this team is looking pretty ordinary through all their games, wins and losses right now. I mean, the Colts should never have hung with them. The Bears should never have hung with them. And obviously, like we said, the aforementioned Vikings game was just absolutely atrocious. I feel like the Jags getting a touchdown here in a divisional game. It's a spot right here where, like I said, I'm hanging one last Hail Mary here with Trevor Lawrence, and then maybe he just goes into my no bet zone. He goes into the Jay Cutler Hall of Fame. I opened up the piggy bank. I opened up the piggy bank for this one, 11 to win 10 on Jags +6. I feel like if I wait a little bit longer, to actually bet this, I may even catch a hook because this thing might go up. I think people are going to try to jump back on Houston's bandwagon, but like I said, Jacksonville is a live dog in this game. I think they might actually win this.
So speaking of the devil, before we get to that, he said Hail Mary, no offense to Daniel Jones at the end of the Cowboys game. Dietz, I guess you're one of the people he's talking about jumping back on the bandwagon, huh?
No, I'm glad you guys kind of both said what you said here, because I want to touch on a couple points. One, the line did get up to 7, Aaron. Jags were at +7 Houston was -7 for a little while, and that quickly came back down to -6. And that's kind of one of the reasons I'm on Houston in this game, amongst a bunch of others. Sammy, you said that you watched Houston play the worst game of the season last week, and you needed to see them improve in order for you to put money on them again. I kind of disagree with that mindset, because this is, and you'll see it through a bunch of my bets today. I consider this more of a buy low opportunity on Houston. This is normally I'm not looking to lay numbers in division games like this, but I think Trevor Lawrence is broken. I think Doug Peterson has lost the locker room. I think that this Jacksonville team might be one of the worst teams in football. And I don't think that – I think what we saw in Houston, we talked about it privately at work and stuff, that was the flat spot for Houston. That was when we kind of expected them to kind of come back to earth a little bit. They've been, whatever, with their flowers all year long. They're the preseason darlings. They come out, beat Indianapolis in Anthony Richardson. Then they come back Sunday Night Football, Caleb versus CJ. They're not going to lay an egg there. That could have been a letdown spot for him. Now he beats the two guys CJ beats the two guys that are supposed to kind of be in competition with him as the next young studs in Anthony Richardson and Caleb, and he puts them down good. So now going to Minnesota, the toughest place to play in football. That noise level there is incredible. They do have the best home field advantage of football. And a good Brian Flores defense, they laid an egg. That was a flat spot. That was why a lot of people were on Minnesota last week. It just made sense. So now, in turn, we have an opportunity to buy low on Jacksonville. This line should be north of 7. It absolutely should be north of 7. It got to 7 and came back down to 6. I'm happy to take the 6. Jacksonville there's a clip going around right now of Trevor Lawrence spinning away for no reason. Like there's nobody in front on Twitter. Like he's just in the pocket and does a spin against nobody and then gets sacked immediately after it. So, and to just kind of touch on a little bit of handicapping with this is Jacksonville. They're one of they play some of the most man coverage in all of the NFL, and CJ that's where he thrives. Man coverage. That's what he's best at. He struggles a little bit with zone. That's why Brian Flores was able to have success with all his blitzes and zones and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a perfect storm for a get-right spot for Houston for me. And I'll wrap this up quick. I'm sorry. Also, my props, CJ over 269 passing yards, Nico Collins over 80.5 receiving yards. Nico popped up on the injury report. He might have a hamstring issue, as far as I know. That would throw a dent into my handicap, and I'll eat it if I have to. But CJ over 269 passing yards, Nico over 80.5 receiving yards, and I love the Texans when it came down to 6. I'm on board.
By that logic, it could sound like we might get a shootout in here. These last couple of times these two teams have played each other, Jacksonville's 2-1 in the last 3, but we've had large numbers. I mean, over this current total 45.5. So we might get some fireworks in a game that we probably weren't super excited about. But like you said, you're buying low on Houston. I mean, there's only one team right now that you can buy lower on, and that's Jacksonville. And I'm gonna buy low on them.
That's a very good point. I mean, both these teams are in the worst spots they're going to be all season. One of them is going to improve after this week. That's my understanding. Is I want to just wait and see which one does. You'll have another bye low opportunity on the loser, obviously, next week. But I think their season is basically over if it's Jacksonville. So,
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with waiting and seeing either. I'm not trying to imply that not betting is a bad idea, because it's always not betting generally can be a good idea when you're not sure of what you want. Like when you see these guys at their worst, sometimes it's good to jump on them when you don't think they could be much worse. And I believe in Houston. I believe that they will look much better this week than next week. So that was my only point with that.
Well, earlier you made.
Guys, we have to move on. Like, Sammy, please make your point, guys. We gotta.
No, this was a general betting point. Earlier, Dietz said that he's a volume bettor and that he likes to bet small on a lot of games. I'm the opposite. I like to bet 2 or 3 games, but bet much bigger on those games. And so I wait for much better spots. I'm not pushing small edges. I'm looking for big edges, and to me, there's no big edge here. And that's why I make significantly less bets than you do, but I bet them all bigger.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that too.
All right, guys. Like I said, we have to move on because we got a lot of games to get to that you guys are on. Steelers, Colts. The Pittsburgh Steelers currently are favored by 1.5 in Indianapolis, and how dare they? The total sets at 40. I believe all of you guys have some kind of action on this, so we'll go with Aaron first here. Yeah, you do have some action on it. Cool.
I do. I have this one in a teaser. I don't know if you want the full teaser now or if I'll just save it till the end.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're good on that. Go ahead.
All right, we'll just save the teaser till the end.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, okay. I mean,
we don't have the other 2 games.
Okay. All right. Well, then I have this in a 3-team 10-point teaser. Tom, I know you love it when I bet those. 12 to win 10 here. I'm going to move this game to under 50. Pittsburgh can't sniff points. I mean, every game that they've played cumulatively, the 2 teams can't even get 30 points in the game. So if you're going to give me 50 in this spot, if it's a Colts blowout, that's cool, because I still think that's the Steelers aren't getting offense. Everybody's praising Justin Fields, but I think he's playing very moderately average, which I guess is what they needed. But it doesn't translate to points. So I have the under 50 in that one, the over 33 in Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, and then the over 26.5 in Tennessee, Miami. I feel like Will Levis can throw enough balls to the other team, and Miami can have defensive touchdowns. So that's my 3-team teaser in that spot. With this game specifically, like I said, Steelers and Colts, we should get an exciting quarterback matchup. The problem is both these quarterbacks are not playing very well right now. Yeah, they have some flashy highlight reel plays, but I mean, this feels to me like it's a 3-and-out fest. And who knows? I could be wrong, but I feel like the Steelers are the better team currently, but I would not want to be on either side in this matchup, just in case Anthony Richardson pulls some crazy rabbit out of his hat trick at the end here. So this will be an exciting one to watch, but it could be a lot of bad football mixed in with maybe 3 or 4 exciting plays.
Okay, so I'm glad great points, Aaron. And I'm glad Aaron went first on that because I noticed that these two are on different ends. Sammy, what you got, man? Who you back in here and curse you before I say that?
So I'm obviously on the Steelers here. I've been on the Steelers the first 3 weeks. They've been my darling kind of every week, whether it be actual bets or just in the piggy bank. But more exciting than the quarterback play. If you are a fan of PFF and watch their shows or read their articles, this is the number 1 offensive line in football in the Indianapolis Colts versus number 1 defensive line in football in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you like battles of the trenches, you like seeing these guys push each other around, this is the most exciting game on the card. I don't think it will be exciting in terms of quarterback play, but I do think in terms of running the football, getting pressure on the quarterback, there will be a lot to see here. With that being said, I just trust Pittsburgh more. I just trust their coach more. I trust their quarterback more. I trust their defense more. I just don't trust Anthony Richardson. I mean, I watched the guy last week. I made the tweet to you guys or the text to you guys in our group chat. That was probably the worst pick of the season, coming in a season where Will Levis has some of the worst picks you'll ever see in your lifetime. I mean, Anthony Richardson has just made bad play after bad play, as well as making highlight reel play after highlight reel play. Give me that Pittsburgh defensive line. Give me that pressure, and let's see how he does. If he can handle that pressure, then coach probably will walk here. But I don't think he does. I think T.J. Watt gets home. I think that defensive line controls the game. And while I do think it will be a slugfest, I think the Steelers win these kinds of ugly games left and right. That's their whole MO. And so I think it's an ugly game. I think it's something like 20-16, but I think Steelers come out on top.
Boo.
You're right. They do win these type of games as underdogs. This is a classic Tomlin spot for me. I'm going to fade him as a favorite on the road, coming off 3 straight wins. In the Colts, they got a lot of talent, great offensive line. Hopefully Buckner's playing. I like the Colts plus 1.5. I think that as much as I like to buy those spots, I also like to sell high spots. I'm selling the Steelers high right now. I don't think they should be a favorite in this game in Indianapolis on the road. So I'm going to take the 1.5 points. These are the spots that Tomlin normally loses. So I'm going to go that route and take the Colts. Interesting fact, when I was doing a little research on this game, I had some Justin Fields. Teams that scored 20 points against Justin Fields, 21-0 straight up. All of his 13 wins, every single one of his wins, team that scored 13 points or less. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if the Colts get to 20 tomorrow, Sunday.
One of those days.
Sammy, you're right. You're right. Sunday is that defense is really, really good. And that's the only thing that scares me a little bit. T.J. Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, he's just amazing. That defense is fantastic. And if that is the difference this year, then the Steelers you were ahead of all of us. Steelers might be a real threat this year in the AFC. But I think that they had a pretty lucky draw with the schedule to start the year and the way everything worked out for them. I don't think they should be favored in this spot. This is a classic Tomlin letdown spot. So I'm going to take the Colts.
Great bet. Great bet.
Definitely.
Great bet, Sammy. Take it to the window. You win.
No, it's definitely true. They did get an advantage in the schedule, but you've made this Tomlin point already once this season where they won and covered on the road. So, they started the season winning 2 road games. If they get this win and they go 4-0 to start the season with 3 road victories, it becomes incredibly difficult for them not to win that division. As bad as Baltimore has looked, and the rest of the teams in that division just don't impress me anyway. Pittsburgh basically can shore up a playoff spot with a win here. So they're not going to let down here. This is going to be a big win for them. I think they come out and play strong. I don't think they blow anybody out all season, but this is a game where I think they control both sides.
As a Colts fan, I love Dietz. I really do, and Dietz.
What do those things have to do with each other?
No, I'm saying I can't trust Anthony Richardson to against this defense yet. I can't. Dietz,
Aaron,
man.
I actually love the 3-team 10-point teasers.
It's the college.
But did you make them all with totals?
This week, those happen to just speak to me this week.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. How
right.
much do you have in your piggy bank?
Well,
Oh, that's right, you got-
I'll have more on Monday than I do right now.
Yeah, you got your government handout this week.
If
Says
you go
you.
off tonight, it no longer starts with a 7.
Hey, do we get rake back? Do we get rake back for these bets?
just did. You just did.
Aaron requested money back last week, by the way, and he got some. All right, Rams Bears.
I made a bet to
another-
get my money back.
All right, Rams Bears here. I believe Dietz has a prop on this one. You also have a play. Dietz, why don't you go first here, man?
Yeah, I'm on the Bears. What a win last week for the Rams. I enjoyed watching that. I was on the under in that game. That was one of my piggy bank bets, so I was annoyed with San Francisco. But watching the Rams go for that fake punt and find a way to win that game was incredible. As the Niner hater of my household, I enjoyed watching that. But
Yes.
I believe there'll be a little bit of a letdown spot for the Rams after that big win. They still have nobody, and they have no receivers to throw to. Their offensive line is still decimated. Kyron Williams is amazing. I fully understand. I'm taking Eberflus and Caleb Williams versus Stafford and McVay. But that Bears defense is legitimately good. They're a better defense than San Francisco right now with the Niners injuries, and maybe overall in general too. So this is, the Bears. They can't get that offense together. Maybe this is a week against another, the Rams who are still banged up. I like the Bears -3. Prop bet. I couldn't believe I found this number. Swift. He's been horrible. That Twitter clip this week of him just having an open lane and deciding to sidestep truck the offensive lineman was just amazing. Hats off to whoever made that video. It was hilarious. His under for rushing yards this week is 35.5 rushing yards. He hasn't reached that number yet this year at all. And what did the Bears say this week? They're going to Roscoe Johnson. They're going to give him more looks. Like they must have saw that Twitter video. They don't, it could all be, gamesmanship, and they could be pulling the rug out from under me, and I'll eat it if they do. But, I got to lay $13 to win 10, but give me a number that Swift hasn't reached all year. In a week, they said they're going to go away from him. So it might be a positive game for the Bears, and I might eat this one. But, yeah, I got to take that prop. So under 35.5 yards for Swift as well.
Yeah, he also has Bears -3. Aaron, you went a slightly different route, but go ahead and pile on there for the Bears.
I mean, how do you follow that? He's not wrong at this point. LA almost played a de facto Super Bowl. Like you said, they're just lining up water boys out wide at this point right now. I mean, Puga's down, Cooper's down, Higbee's out for this week. I went the money line route. I don't trust Caleb to cover spreads, so I'm just going to trust him to get a victory here. I had to lay a little bit more juice. They're -1. It was 168. I just rounded up to 170 for the purposes of our betting. We don't need 80 cents in our piggy bank. So 170, 17 to win 10. Keenan Allen's probably coming back after missing the last 2 games. That's going to be a big boost. That feels like he reminds me of Keyshawn Johnson. He's the big over-the-middle safety blanket, will go up against anybody and catch a ball. It's one of my favorite type of receivers for sure. So give me the Chicago win. The only thing that really kind of scares me right now is if Kyron Williams just absolutely goes crazy. But like you said, the Chicago's defense is playing incredibly well, and we're going to lean on them to win this game.
And you're going to have to because, as Dietz mentioned in a fantastic point, the Rams have the better quarterback and they have the better coach. And if it wasn't for that combination, I would be all over the Bears in this spot too. And while I do think Caleb Williams has gotten better each and every week, and he will get back another weapon this week, I do have a sneaky suspicion that they're going to struggle against the Rams secondary this week. I think the Rams defense came out and played really well last week after getting beaten up in that first half. And so I'm hoping that in order to keep the game close, they will play well. But, yeah, I mean, the Bears defense will have to win or lose this game for them. It's a no action for me. If it wasn't for Eberflus and Caleb Williams versus McVay and Stafford, I'd probably go over the Bears too. But that combination just finds ways to get stuff done. It's impressive.
Sammy, no action.
The no Sammy. Yeah, good one, D. Sammy, no action. Good stuff.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Who's the first? Wait, what?
No, I meant for this game.
The lack of action, that's for sure.
You set it up. You teed it up. I hit it out. That's all. I was just was just going on what you said.
Like Shohei Ohtani, that thing. All right. 4:05 Eastern, Commanders, the Communists, as they call them, at the Cardinals. And again, another one. Let me check. Okay, Dietz is on this one too. So let's go ahead and go to Sammy first, who has no action on this game again. Arizona's favored by 3.5. Totals at 50. Then we'll let the boys talk about their different parts of that bet. Go ahead, Sammy.
I thought Jaden Daniels was absolutely amazing on Monday Night Football. He cost me a bunch of bets. I had Cincinnati left and right, but watching that performance was absolutely outstanding. And it was probably the best quarterback play I'd seen all year, except for what Kyler's done on Arizona the last couple of weeks. Last week, not so much, but 2 weeks ago, that game was absolutely incredible, just the same. So these are probably two of the most joystick-related quarterbacks you'll ever see, and I'm looking forward to watching this game. And the opposite of that Steelers game, I think there will be a lot of highlight reel plays here. But this game will come down to one possession. It'll come down to one big play. It might come down to who has the ball last. The total is 50. It's the first 50 I think we've had in the NFL this year. And so I'm expecting a lot of points. I'm expecting a lot of entertainment. But at the same time, I couldn't tell you who's going to win this game. This is a very, very tough game to bet.
So since you went that route, Aaron, why don't you go first on that one?
You know, it's funny you mentioned a ton of points. I'm opening up the piggy bank for this one. I'm on the under. I found it 50.5. I guess it's 50 now, but 11 to win 10. It's funny you mentioned that 50 game. I think it's the second, but I'll have to check on that. But since or post COVID, however you want to look at it, totals of 50 or greater are 34 and 14 to the under. These games are hyped up as shootouts. I know we all remember that game in Mexico with Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff that no one played defense. It was 55 to 54 or whatever it was. But we haven't gotten those kind of games in a long time. Now, don't get me wrong. We do get shootouts. I mean, Washington was just in one last week. But I'm going to take the under in this spot. I think something that's not being talked about is Cliff Kingsbury revenge factor. He's the OC with a capable Kyler Murray-like quarterback at his disposal right now. I think he wants to beat the brakes off of Arizona right now. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't care. He seems like a laid-back guy who took his severance pay and moved on. But I think we get a lower scoring. You saw Arizona last week. Couldn't get it done against Detroit. And then you got another team coming at home that probably maybe is playing as good or better offense than Detroit is right now. So Arizona better try really, really hard to score some points because they might get run out of their own building.
Go ahead, Dietz Maniac. You got 2 on this game. Is that correct, Dietz?
Yep, and I got some great news for Aaron. That's a fantastic point about 50-point over-unders. I wasn't aware of that when I made my bet. However, I will still stand by my over 50. So good news for you. Congratulations. I've been impressed with Arizona, too. I know they lost to Detroit last week in a very strange game from beginning to end. But I like Arizona and what they've been doing. Their defense is still a little suspect, even though they held Detroit to just 20, but Detroit is changing their offensive game plan, it looks like, a little bit too. So, Washington, congratulations. You guys have been amazing. I just touted you earlier as a dark horse to win the division. I'm probably going to try to find a personal bet on you to win the division and make the playoffs, but you're sell high. Again, I mentioned ad nauseum. This is everybody loves you. You ruined all the teasers, including all of ours last week. We were cursing you on Monday night. You somehow come out. You haven't punted in 2 straight games. Just amazing. Jaden Daniels, write him in Rookie of the Year if he can stay healthy. McLaurin coming out. Brian Robinson, Cliff Kingsbury. You guys are amazing. It's all you've been hearing all week. So Arizona, they played a really, really good Buffalo team, pretty tough. They have looked good. They beat the brakes off that Rams teams we just talked about before they lost all those players too, well, at least half of them. So I like Arizona in this spot. I think Washington comes back a little bit to earth. So I like Arizona minus 3.5, and just on principle, like Washington, like I just said, hasn't punted in two games. Arizona has a fantastic offense. They can Trey McBride's probably out, but they got a lot of weapons on offense. So kind of just on principle, these teams don't punt very often. I think last week Arizona having 13 points was a bit of a outlier. So I'll take the over 50. So congratulations on that win, Aaron. I'll hopefully break even here on Arizona minus 3.5. So those are my 2 bets in this game.
Love it. All right, let's get to 4:25 Eastern. Chiefs at the Chargers. Kansas City now favored even 7, which I knew was coming eventually. She said total is set at 40, and we're gonna go with let's go with Aaron on this one here.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. Like, we haven't loved the Chiefs, and they're laying 7 on the road. They're laying a big number on the road against a team that's – what do we make of Jim Harbaugh? What do we make of Justin Herbert right now? They're not on the same page. They feel like an awkward father and son. Like Herbert's the teenage kid who doesn't want to be around his dad. And I don't know. I don't like anything about the Chargers. It feels like same old Chargers, and maybe – Harbaugh will eventually kind of figure things out here, but it feels like same old Chargers to me. I just don't see it. They have very little to none in the terms of skill position cabinet here. I know J.K. Dobbins has been playing well. Going up against this defense, I don't trust J.K. to have a good game against this team. I don't trust Justin Herbert to have a good game in this team. I opened up the piggy bank for a prop here. I'm taking Chargers team total under 16.5. 12 to win 10. I see this game. They'd be lucky to get 14 points if I'm the Chargers. I feel like they're lucky to get 14 in this spot.
I missed that one. Go ahead, Dietz.
I am so bummed out about these Chargers injuries because this would be a classic Chargers spot. The Chiefs, they don't typically cover these margins. They're a great team, but they're not great against the spread, especially when they're laying numbers. But talking about last week with the Bengals, the Chargers was also one of the best teaser legs of the week that a bunch of people were on. I had a lot of Chargers teaser legs. They not only do they lose Herbert in the middle of the game, which is a very that if he does play, that's very possible he goes out again. A high risk for re-injury with that ankle injury. But they lost Joe Alt and Slater, their 2 best offensive linemen. Once Herbert went out, they had -5 yards on offense with those linemen out as well. They also lost Joey Bosa, Derwin James suspended this week. So as much as I'd like to lay it with the Chiefs, I'm going to put them in a teaser. And full disclosure, there's a lot of great teaser legs this week. I know it doesn't look like I laid off a lot of bets this week, but I'm laying off a lot of teasers because the teaser legs have just not been coming to fruition. These 7.5 point favorites and they've been losing outright quite a bit. So I haven't had the best teaser luck this year, but I am going to open up the piggy bank. This one I'm going to bet 24 to win 20. I'm going to tease. While I don't trust the Chiefs to lay a number, I do trust them to win the game against this makeshift Chargers just team in general. Chiefs -1 with the Jets -1.5, which I love the Jets. Aaron Rodgers versus Sean Payton. That should be fun. I think both these teams get out with a win. I'm a little leery of my teaser confidence. This used to be my favorite. It is my favorite way to bet. But, boy, have I been getting kicked in the teeth this year with teasers. So only one teaser for me this week, and it's Jets -1.5, Chiefs -1. I'd love to take the Chargers, but those injuries, they got me off of it. I expect the Chiefs to win.
Before Sammy goes, I feel like we need a teaser graphic because as many times as Aaron and Dietz make them. Maybe actually Dietz got a few of them too, but Dietz, you can also give your what you have for another bet in this game too if you want, because I know you're also kind of on this game.
On the Charger game?
Sammy, yeah, Chargers Chiefs.
Me? I don't have a bet on this game.
Well, you kind of are. You're not on it. Like you can go ahead and give your bet though for it.
Okay. Well, I wish I had gone first. I'm kind of mad at you, Mike, because basically everything he just said is what I was going to say, right? Like Herbert injured, Bosa injured, Slater injured, Joe All injured, Derwin James suspended. This Charger team, we don't even know who's going to be on the field. With that being said, laying 7 in a division game makes absolutely no sense. And then to reiterate another Dietz point, the teasers have been kicking me in the face all year. So I wanted everything to bet this game. And Dietz mentioned this game earlier in the week as a possible teaser spot. I just opted to stay off. Without knowing the status of Herbert, without knowing who's going to be playing, if anybody, I just decided since the show's on Thursday, I'll wait until Sunday. If it turns out Herbert's out and the line moves to 8.5, whatever, I'll be all over Chiefs in the teaser in that spot. If Herbert plays, I'm just going to watch the game and enjoy it. But if Herbert does play, and as part of my fire bet, I'm taking the Chargers plus 3-1. Give me the home dog in a divisional game as part of my fire bet. I paired it with Arkansas plus 150 and the Bills plus 110, just to make myself a big 20 plus 2,000 fire bet. That's the only action I have on this game, but I am going to wait till Sunday. And if it does turn out that Herbert doesn't play, I'm on your side here. I do like the Chiefs in a teaser.
I'm actually like that. We agree on everything. Herbert says he's going to play, or he says he's going to try to play. I don't know why he's trying to play. I'd actually feel better if they just go with Heineke from the beginning, because we got burned last week when Herbert tried to play on that leg, and it just cost us. Like, there's a very high risk for re-injury with this injury, with what he has. Like, just you got the bye next week. Just take the 2 weeks. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand it. If Herbert does decide to play, I might be looking to live bet Chiefs possibly if San Diego goes up, or LA, excuse me, or that'd be an angle I might look to push too, because look what happened last week. Like that could be some good live betting opportunities with Kansas City if Herbert does decide to give it a go.
Very good point. But you must have a mouse in your pocket when you said we got burned, because I had the Steelers last week.
You didn't have the Chargers plus 8.5. I thought you.
I was on Steelers last week.
Luck box. You're the Sammy the run god. Who runs better?
Everything's just weird about this game. Like, I feel like the NFL wants Harbaugh to beat Kansas City. They want the Golden Boy to knock off this team that everybody is saying that they're getting all the love from the refs. We've talked.
What about the Swifties though? Now they're against the Swifties.
Yeah, the NFL's got so many hidden agendas. It's almost like they cancel each other out, and it's all one fair game. It's crazy. I know.
Can we make a prop bet?
The Swifties.
Thanks for the.
Can we make a prop bet that Kansas City's going to have at least one flag either for or against them in a pass interference call? That's going to be.
Are we gonna? Can we make a prop bet that we end the game with some kind of call/no call? Yeah.
I don't think it'll get to that point this week. I think the Chargers are just too depleted.
But if they're so depleted, why is this only a touchdown? Like, Kansas City should be able to hang a number, right? They should be able to call.
It was 7.5.
They have no offense.
The total's 40. They're not.
They have no offense. Their
offense stinks.
Rasheed Rice is turning into an incredible receiver. Now they have the Carson Steele hype.
Carson Steele's
The only
good.
reason he's hyped is because he's got a pet alligator.
Well, you know what?
He's not hyped for being a good
Sign me up for the pet alligator. Let's go. Like, this just, I don't know. This feels like I said, 20, 26-7, kind of 20.
Well, to your point, Aaron, if the Chargers were healthy, I was planning on being all over the Chargers. I was hoping this number would be about the same as it is now, and I was going to jump all over the Chargers.
Their offense is worse. Their offense is terrible.
I mean, they run a different style. They're very slow. They use the offensive lineman to push, and their run offense. It's a Greg Roman offense. It's much different. So it's not that they're terrible. It's just that they run a different style.
They're not very good right now. 4 games or 3 games in.
I've watched every Chiefs snap this season. Their offense has not looked good. The first game they looked good, but since then it has been.
I thought they've looked fine. I mean, I don't know. It's Mahomes just doesn't look like God right now, and I don't know. Maybe he'll snap out of it, but let's go.
Browns Raiders 4:25 Eastern. Las Vegas favored by 2. Totals at 37. Dietz, why don't you go first here, and then I'll let Aaron counteract.
All right, I'm on the Raiders -2. The Raiders, they kind of ran into the Andy Dalton buzzsaw last week, and I think we're going to go either two ways right here. Antonio Pierce calling out business decisions, which I'm sorry. If I'm on a Raiders team, I'm going to say, listen, if you're punting from 4th and 1 and the opponent's 40 when we need to score a touchdown, I'm going to make a business decision if you're going to make that kind of coaching decision. I'd have a lot to clap back at if I was a player. And I think he was talking about Devontae Adams too. But, I don't think the Raiders are as bad as we saw last week. I really hope Max Crosby plays because this offensive line for Cleveland is disgusting. I think they're still out there, 2 tackles. Only Jacksonville could not take advantage of that. Deshaun Watson, he had that one outlier game. Ironically, he just must have channeled everything. to clear his mind. He found a way to clear his mind in one of the worst weeks of his life, probably, and played well against Jacksonville. But he still is Deshaun Watson, maybe the worst quarterback in football.
Deshaun Cosby's fallen so hard.
Yeah, so I think I don't think the Raiders were as bad as we saw them last week. They kind of ran into it with Andy Dalton and that rejuvenated Carolina offense. And I don't think I'm just going to be fading this Brown teams and Deshaun Watson for a long time. I think if we keep getting numbers like this where they got to go on the road and only giving up 2 points. So I still like this Raiders team despite what we saw last week. I'll take the 2 points.
Aaron?
Well, it's funny you mentioned it. I mean, the only time Cleveland can ever win a game is actually this season is on the road. They're 0-2 at home. They're 1-0 in Jacksonville. This is going to be actually a de facto home game. I mean, did you see the crowd in Jacksonville, the way Cleveland traveled? They're going to do who doesn't want to come to Vegas? I mean, this is already such a proud fan base in Cleveland. This place is going to be puke orange and shit brown in the stadium. I mean, this
what
is
a way to describe a team.
I mean, how would you describe those colors? I mean, it's awful. Yeah, I think Groper Cleveland and his posse come in here and steal a win. I guess I'm going to give my fire bet here, but it's funny. So the Browns, obviously, at plus 105. Louisville to beat Notre Dame at plus 215. And I'm fading your Navy pick here, Tom. I'm going to take UAB and the Fighting Trent Dilfers to beat Navy at home here. Let's go. That bet pays somewhere roughly around 15-1.
Well, if you're looking to jump on the Saw Point Poker Room bandwagon and book one of my bets, feel free. I'm betting Navy minus 3.5 this week. If you want to book it, it's all.
Oh, you're just taking all action, huh? You're taking all action.
No, I'm making these bets, and people are trying to pluck. They're hitting me off on the way to the sport.
What?
Hey! What are you betting? Can I take your action? So yeah.
How about you just save the juice and we go straight up?
Well, no, that's the whole point. Yeah, like if they.
They're trying to take your action to save you juice. Well,
right. I'm not laying minus 110 to you.
Speaking of action,
that's awful charitable of them. That's awful.
Hey, the offer's out there. If you want to take UAB with the points,
I
Didn't
will
we
push
have a guy retire based off of taking bets?
Yeah, our boss retired.
Guys, we have to move on. Sammy's got to play on this game on his piggy bank, and we got to move on.
I do have a play on this game, and I'll make it quick because I know Tom has a lot of bets. I agree with Aaron. This is going to be a home game for the Browns. They do play better on the road. With all that being said, this total is woefully low. I do think that defense creates offense, and in this situation, I can see defensive turnovers in the red zone creating short fields for both teams. I think points will be actually not at a premium in this game. I feel like this score is going to play into the 20s. Give me the gunmanship of Gardner Minshew. Give me turnover prone Deshaun Watson. Give me sackmaster Max Crosby. Give me these turnovers in our own zones, creating short fields and giving our offenses a chance to put up some points. So I'm thinking this score is in the 40s. I'm over 37, 22 to 120.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sorry, guys. Let's go to Sunday Night Football on NBC. Buffalo Bills at the Baltimore Ravens. Bills. God, I keep thinking that because it should be. Ravens are favored by 2.5. It totals at 46.5. Dietz, why don't you just lay the amazing prophecy here on what this game's going to end like? I think. Yeah.
Mike, you're going to be so mad at me. The Bills are part of my fire bet. I had made my fire bet today, but I like the Ravens in this spot. I think, they're. I'm not sure about the Ravens injuries. I don't know about the but I think the Ravens are going to be able to attack Buffalo in spots that they haven't been attacked on defense yet. So I'm waiting to see on the injury report. I'll probably end up with a personal bet on Buffalo or on Baltimore. That being said, though, the Bills are part of my fire bet. I had to find underdogs. These fire bets are tough. So I had to add. I was just trying to do a 2-team money line, but my odds weren't enough. So my fire bet is the Buccaneers, the Colts, the Bills, and the Saints money line. All short dogs, all teams that have a tremendous shot to win. Even though I'm leaning Ravens on the point spread. That doesn't mean Buffalo can't win this game. I think it's plus $10 to win you 1,700. Yes, Saints on the road. They're all under 2-point underdogs, all very capable of winning these games. So yeah, as much as I'm leaning towards Ravens on a side, if I'm going to take a gamble on a fire bet, I got to take it. I got to lay the money line with the Bills so I can get the plus money. So yeah, Buccaneers, who I do think will win outright. Actually, Colts, I think they'll actually win outright. Saints, I don't think they'll win, but they're part of my fire bet too, and the Bills.
Sammy, you got a couple tickles on this one, don't you? Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
Great hot take, Tom. Well, I think Buffalo can win this game. Yeah, they're the best team in the NFL right now. Of course they can win the game.
Right.
But he likes the Ravens.
I like the Ravens.
That was the most Tom Dietz moment of the week.
Did you mush
That's
yourself?
today's Tom Dietz moment of the week.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
listen. I got no action on the piggy bank here. I'm probably full disclosure. There's a good chance I find myself. There's a good chance I'll be cheering against my fire bet this week.
Ravens by 1. He middles himself.
Oh my God, that's miserable.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. That's where you guys should bet. That's exact. Hey, if you get this game's late, right? Sunday Night Football. Yeah. So if you see the Colts win, if you see the Buccaneers win, and you see the Saints win, get on that Ravens -1 train.
God, Sammy, you got this one.
I used. I know we have to go quick. I used. I'm sorry. I used Bills in a teaser plus 8.5. I got them at 2.5. I think that's the line. I used them in conjunction with the Jets, teasing them down to 1.5. I also used the Jets -1.5 with the Saints. So all teams we've touched upon in this segment. I like the Jets a lot as my key for teasers this week. Give me Aaron Rodgers against the overrated Broncos defense, and give me the Jets defense against this rookie quarterback who can't throw the ball more than 5 yards. So I'm Jets all week in the teaser, and these are the two I paired them with.
Maybe you wheel it. Maybe you wheel the teaser.
I didn't know if that was a bet I could make on the show because it's a lot of bets.
That's what's been getting me killed. Sammy, I love it. I love it. And we haven't. I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk about this, but in case we don't, Aaron Rodgers, he's vindictive as all hell. You know he hates Sean Payton. If there's anybody who wants to lay a number on somebody, Aaron Rodgers. I love the Jets in a lot of different legs like that this week too.
Yeah.
Dietz, you also have you gave your $24 thing earlier. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. When we come back, we're gonna wrap up this show with our remaining fire bets. I think we got. We beat all the fire bets, Aaron.
Yeah, we got them all.
No idea.
Okay. Well, we also have some Prop City stuff to do. We'll be right back. We'll pay some bills and then we'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining in. Vegas Square Gambling Show. We'll be right back.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Vegas Square Gambling Show once again here on 12 on Sports and Dingo TV channel 217. That's 217 on Dingo TV. It's a free app. Every Thursday, 9 p.m. Pacific here. And don't forget to catch the morning show brought to you by Vegas Square. Weekdays, including tomorrow/today at 7 a.m. Pacific time with Aaron and, of course, a host of other guests. We are here with the Vegas Square host himself, the Vegas Square himself, Aaron. We've got the Optimist, Sammy Action, and the Mush, who might be the Mush for season 2 as well, Thomas Dietz. We appreciate you guys tuning in. MyBookie.ag, promo code 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, for up to a $1,000 first deposit bonus. Alrighty, we have gone through the big games. let's get Aaron to finish off any bets. We'll just rattle them off again. What is your action? What is your props this week? And of course, we're going to hurt your fire bets, so no need to do that. What is your piggy bank this week, sir?
All right. I guess I'll recap all of this. I have 6 bets, 3 college, 3 pro, a 3-team 10-point teaser, a prop with the NFL, and of course the fire bet. Here we go. Ole Miss minus 17.5, 11 to win 10. UNC plus 2.5, 11 to win 10. UConn minus 5, 11 to win 10. Jags plus 6, 11 to win 10. Bears money line minus 170, 17 to win 10. Washington, Arizona under 50.5, 11 to win 10. 3-team 10-point teaser, 12 to win 10. Pittsburgh, Indy under 50. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay over 33. Tennessee, Miami over 26.5. Prop City, Chargers team total under 16.5, 12 to win 10. And the fire bet, UAB plus 143 against Navy. Louisville plus 215 against Notre Dame, and Cleveland against our Raiders getting a win. About 15 to 1, 14.69, I guess.
Nice. All right, Sammy action. What you got, man?
I got the Fighting Illini winning or covering in the whiteout game against Penn State. The Steelers beating Mike's Indianapolis Colts. I have over in the Browns-Raiders game. Sorry, Mike. I have a teaser with the Jets and the Saints. Jets minus 1.5, Saints plus 8.5, and the Jets minus 1.5, Bills plus 8.5. A bet that wasn't covered on the show, but I put in was Cincinnati minus 4. I'm taking Ellen DeGeneres to finally get a win this year and cover. And my fire bet is Chargers plus 310, Arkansas plus 150, and the Bills plus 110. Plays a little more than plus 2,000. That is my action for this week. I'm going to extend my lead on these guys. Rooting for all of you, though, all weekend.
Aaron, did you catch his Ellen DeGeneres Joe Burrow joke there?
Yeah, Joe Burrow's 3-0 or 0-3 since he turned into a lesbian. So.
Thank you.
He's always been. He just came out of the closet recently.
He's not doing his daytime talk show anymore. Maybe he should start playing football.
All right, Dietzy.
I got a lot of bets, probably too many to recap, but a few that we didn't cover as well. Sammy, I'm with you on the Bengals. Theme of my picks this week is buying low or selling high on teams from past performances. Bengals, I minus 4.5. I think that they win this, but I think I'm just going to be auto betting Bengals overs the rest of the year because that defense is also atrocious. And with DJ Reader gone, they can't stop anybody. So along with the Bengals minus 4.5, I have the over 47, both 11 to win 10. And in that game,
was my fault for not putting that Bengals game in, guys. I apologize. Go ahead, D.
That's fine. No big deal. We got a lot of bets. Prop City bet with that is Chuba Hubbard over 2.5 receptions. Got to lay a little juice, 14 to win 10. But Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, he likes to check it down to him. We're a couple weeks till Jonathan Brooks comes back, and Chuba played real good last week. With Thielen's out, that offense was clicking, so part of the reason I like the over. So I like Andy Dalton to check down at least 2.5 or 3 times to him. So that wraps up all my bets. I'll tweet them out. It's hard to go through all these and like just kind of name them off and rattle them off when I got 20 bets. I did make it to 20 this week, guys. So yes, with that we're gonna get to 11, 12, 13, probably 19 wins this week. So but I'll try to tweet it. I did lose the first one, so full disclosure. But I think that might be the better thing. I'll tweet out all my picks. That way, if you guys want, you can come after me on social media. Let me hear how bad you think my analysis and my picks are.
Oh. Go ahead, Aaron. There you go. Go ahead.
Oh, weird. We got a comment, an in-house comment there.
You're insane.
So
that's not a real comment, is it?
It's weird, isn't it?
Who wrote that in there?
Oh, well, I guess we'll never know.
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Vaccaro.
Aaron got a new toy. He learned to play with his computer. I see that guy every day. I was like, how come he doesn't say hello?
You're on his radar. He actually increases your limits. Your credit's good there, Tommy.
No, I want to know why we can't bet team totals and player props.
No, well, maybe we'll have Jimmy on the show one day. He's a real talkative fellow.
Ooh.
God.
I don't.
We
Interesting.
can't. I can't get Jimmy, but I can't offer Dwayne Thompson. He's been asking to come on the show.
Turbo. He can sit in my seat next week.
Turbo would be sweet. That would be a great name for a show.
Everybody loves Turbo.
That would be a great name for a Disney movie. Isn't that weird? We were just making bacon, by the way. And Sammy, I do appreciate that hashtag, by the way.
My pleasure. Happy to help.
That's got to be it's got to be a graphic too. Teaser graphic. We have too many graphics. I don't know. I feel like I'm making bacon and a teaser graphic's got to be a thing. Like Dietz getting tickled would be like a nice teaser graphic.
I'm excited that we're against each other. A few of us have a little bit of crossfires this week. It should be fun. Congratulations to both of you who bet against me this week. Hopefully you can pad your stats.
Nice.
I look forward to every week.
Make or break week for me. Make or break week. This has been
love that.
Football has been difficult. I've been doing real well on everything else. Football has crushed the shit out of me. It has been a really tough go the first 3 weeks. I think this is the get right spot. What?
Good thing
You're only
it
down
is
30% so far.
we got to go, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy it, and we'll see you tomorrow/today on the Vegas Square Morning Show. Adios.